right, so let's take a look at this bad boy. So this is the night edition package, which basically just blacks out the grill, gives you the black wheels, black badging, all that fun stuff. So yeah, I think it makes it look nice. I like how for 25 they went back to putting these little wheel well flares back on. They used to have these back in, like, I don't know, 13 or 15. I know I've had a couple trucks that have had them, and then they stopped putting them on, or maybe they only put them on like high level trim. But I think it just makes it look a lot nicer. So really stoked about that. I like the black handles too. And then with the taillights, it's kind of cool. They made them look like the LED versions, but these are just standard halogen taillights. We do have LED headlights, but taillights, halogen. I like how they blacked it all out. Looks cool. Got the, tow hitch, right? I think that's standard on all of them. So yeah, pretty nice looking truck. Bridgestone dualers. These are a 275 5520. To me, they look a little bit small though. Just the overall diameter. I think it's only like 31.5 inches or something like that. So pretty small compared to, like, 37s on our Jeep over there. But yeah, it just kind of looks funny because it's such a large truck and then kind of small wheels. So I don't know, we might do something in the future. Maybe go back to Ram TRX wheels and tires, because those are 35s, I believe, on that, or maybe they're 33s. I can't remember, but that would give it a little bit more size, make it look a little bit cooler. Otherwise, yeah, outside's cool. Dig it. All right, let's get you guys, just kind of show you the inside. So again, compared with older Rams, the interior's not much changed. This is maybe a little bit different. Same kind of controls they've had for a freaking decade. All this stuff same. So again, pretty nice, pretty cool. They do make a ton of aftermarket seat covers. So I may end up putting some seat covers on here. These just to try to change the color up and protect it a little bit from the kids, because they're savages. Just went to Home Depot, got some crap. So again, huge back seats in these things. Plenty of storage. I already kind of threw some of my crap that I had in my Jeep. What I did like in the Gladiator was this was kind of like a raised portion here, so it would keep all your crap from rolling. This has nothing. So we'll have to kind of figure that out, because what I like to do is, for my triathlon crap and a lot of my running crap, I like to be able to utilize this space, come in here, open the door, and just be able to grab my stuff and then pop it back down. But yeah, that's the interior. So being at the end of 2024, there was a lot of great deals going on with Ram. So I ended up taking advantage of that, and I ended up getting one delivered to me on January 2nd, which was the last day of the year for Stellantis, to be able to get those rebates, and everything changes the next day. So I ended up getting a pretty sweet deal on this 25 Big Horn, which has the SST, the inline 6 Hurricane twin turbo motor. So speaking about all the rebates and discounts, this Big Horn came in at $61,540. It does not have a whole lot of options. It does have the night edition package, which basically just gives you some black accents and the black wheels, the 20-inch 275 55 R20s with the Bridgestone dualers, and then you get the level 2 Big Horn package, heated seats, all that kind of stuff. So this is what I would say is a pretty typical lease truck. This is kind of what I've been leasing or buying for the last 7 or 8 years, but now with 2025, there is a lot of additional options that they give you from the factory. But first, getting back to cost. So $61,000. I got about $10,000 in rebates, plus I think that was including employee discount. I did trade in my 23 Gladiator. So all in all, I ended up being out the door rented about $47,500, which with taxes and everything, it was something like $44,000. So I ended up getting is just over 17 grand off MSRP. So it's a pretty good deal. They're doing a lot of those deals from what I'm hearing internally with Stellantis, because I work closely with those guys for work, is there's going to be a lot more discounts to come, especially now that Tim Kuniskis is leading Ram again as CEO. He's supposed to be discounting the MSRP quite a bit, and they're still trying to move a lot of this inventory and make Ram more competitive with GM and Ford, because the trucks are still, pretty expensive. I want to say just 4 or 5 years ago, this same kind of truck would have been $40,000 out the door instead of, 45. Now, getting into standard equipment on these 2025s, that was one of the big reasons I wanted to get rid of my 23 Gladiator Mojave, which had almost no options on it. It was just a pretty basic Mojave, which was fine at the time, but for not much more money, I was able to get this bigger RAM and then also have a lot of these cool new features. So in the 2025s now, you've got things like the Park Sense. I can't remember Park Sense, Park View. Well, Park View is the rear camera. We've always had that since 2019, but Park Sense, I think this used to be an option. This is now standard. The full speed forward collision warning. So this is where it'll actually hit the brakes for you in an accident or getting close to an accident. Blind spot, I think this used to be an option as well. And automatic high beam headlamp. So I think this is where you can leave it on high beam and it'll raise and lower the lights to keep you from blinding other people. And the big things was the adaptive cruise control. So this thing can literally stop on the expressway if traffic hits, and then it'll keep going back to your desired speed, and then active lane management. So those are all kind of cool things that used to be, they've been available on RAM for a while, but they were additional options, right? You had to pay more for them. And in my experience, whenever I've been leasing a long time with Bighorns, you could never, that was never part of like a Bighorn lease package. That was additional options, and so it usually skyrocketed the price. But now you can get it in, I don't want to say affordable, but relatively affordable in this current market, right? So let's go ahead, fire this thing up. All right, so this is interesting. Check it out. So I went to go turn the truck on just to show you guys some of the features and stuff. And we have, 126 miles. And there's some kind of issue where, look, it's saying emergency braking off. It won't start. So it was saying there was an issue with the shifter. Because you can see this is not lit up like it normally would be. Press brake to prevent rolling. And it doesn't seem like battery's dead or any issue like that, because we've got screen, we've got HVAC turning on, fan motor running. So it seems like there's some kind of issue. Now it could be there's a slight little hill right here. It's actually just like a hill of like extra dirt, extra gravel, for my driveway right here. So I wonder if that is giving it some kind of problem, making it angry, right? But I mean, you can see it's not like too crazy of a hill there. Both wheels, well, just the one wheel's on it. So interesting. So we'll have to see what's up with that. Maybe we can reset the battery real quick. Wow. So look at this. You can hear it just keeps like turning on and off the fan motor. It's just like freaking out. So my guess, guys, this is probably just a software update. A lot of this vehicle now is software controlled, and so yeah, I bet you there's just some kind of weird flash that the dealer needs to do. There, now it's finally stopped wigging out. The problem I have though is I can't actually shut it off, right? So power is still on. So that's not good. Yeah. All right, guys, this is the weirdest truck. So I just disconnected this positive battery cable here. It was just easier to pop that bolt off. And now the truck is turning on the windshield wipers, and they're not actually on. So they are not on at all. And they've got these things on. It's the weirdest thing. So obviously there's some software issues. Probably just needs some kind of update, which is silly. So I'm gonna leave this battery off for a couple more minutes here, and then we'll go ahead and reapply power. In the meantime, I might actually go Google just to double check how long I should leave this battery off, because I do see there's a smaller battery. I think that's the auxiliary battery for the stop start system, I believe. So this should just be main power. So we'll just have to see if it's a couple of minutes. Usually it's like a minute or two and you can reapply power. So we'll see if once we get power reapplied, if that will help the truck to start. Maybe I can at least get it neutral and just push it back off this hill. I don't know if this hill is maybe messing with, making it freak out a bit. So we'll see. Alright, so I ended up trying to undo the battery cable a couple different times and see if that would fix it. It did not. So ended up calling Stellantis service, which was actually really easy and fast. And boom, they just sent me some text messages. They got a local company to come out to pick this thing up. And they're going to be taking this thing over to the dealer that I got it from 2 days ago. So first time, like I said, I've been leasing and buying Stellantis products, you know, FCA stuff, Chrysler, since 2013. It's the first time I've had an issue where I've had to get a tow. So hey, it is what it is. But the guy was also telling me he has been seeing a lot of problems with these things as far as that shifter having an issue, and then said also the alarm system has been causing some problems. So he's been seeing that a lot on these trucks. So it's pretty common. Hopefully it's a quick fix and I can get this thing back. I'll get you guys some more updates as we go, of course, and maybe do a 1 month update. But again, I've owned a bunch of these trucks. This one's not a whole lot different. The main difference is going to be that new SST, that super sexy turbo that they got in there, 3-liter Hurricane. So I'm kind of excited to see what miles per gallon looks like, see how I like it, all that kind of stuff. I'm also hoping that there's going to be some performance mods coming in the aftermarket, whether that's a kind of a full CapEx system or like a muffler delete, maybe an intake, just so we can hear those turbos screaming. That would be really cool. So that's kind of why I wanted to get this new engine, was just kind of, hopefully as these things come out, we can start to try those things. And there may be other upgrades, like, who knows, maybe the catback from the RHO, or ones that have the high output motor, you know, maybe that gives a little bit better performance. You might be able to swap that out. That could be something. So we'll see about that. So until the next one, guys, like, share, subscribe. It really helps the channel. Drop a comment down below. I always answer any comments or any questions you guys have, and we'll catch you guys on the next one.